Wow, guys, just wow. That was an awesome episode of Better Call Saul. Oh my man. Now, we are talking the episode titled 5-0, and this is a spoiler review, so you are warned. Basically, what we got in this episode, you know that Mike got, came in for questioning. Of course, he sits there. He's like, lawyer, Mike, we just want to know, lawyer, damn it. And then he's like, fine, who's your lawyer? Saul Goodman's his lawyer. I thought we would get a lot in, partnering up with Saul and Mike, but we didn't. We didn't get that in this episode, which was great because what we got was even sweeter and better, and that's Mike's backstory. Jonathan Banks. Awesome acting. I really, really love Jonathan Banks in this episode. This is probably one of his best acting performances, especially at the end where you could feel the emotion of what happened to his son. Now, I don't know if that's his son-in-law or his son. I didn't really catch I rewinded it, but he just says son. I'm going to just assume that that's his son and that's his daughter-in-law that we saw, in that other last episode. And that's his son's child, basically. He comes to Albuquerque, New Mexico from Philadelphia to be with basically his son's widow and his granddaughter. But gotta say, man, Jonathan Banks nailed it. That emotion that he had when he was telling the story. Now, I'm assuming you saw the episode. These are just my thoughts. When he tells a story to his daughter-in-law I'm assuming daughter-in-law, that basically the whole story of how Matt's death came to be, how these two cops came to be dead, because this whole episode was pretty much about the death of his son and the death of these two cops, and if they're all tied together. They're saying that they were ambushed, but, they want to get Mike's perspective on it. He was there at the bar. He saw these two other cops that were killed. So they want to know, what was the 411? What do you got? Do you know these people? Do you know these two cops? I mean, they were partners of Maddie's. So what's going on there? So, I mean, but the emotion that Jonathan Banks delivered in this act, great acting by Jonathan Banks. And even though it was little, I still love Saul and Mike's character, both of them going back and forth. Mike telling Saul basically, hey, what I want you to do, you see that coffee? Yeah, here's your coffee. No, you're going to spill it on the cop, and then I'm going to take his notebook. Then you're going to sit your ass down because that's all I wanted from you. But Saul, being a good lawyer, says, no. I'm Saul Goodman. I got this suit on. We're doing everything to a T. But Saul pretty much caves and does drop coffee on one of the cops so Mike can get the notepad. Oh man, just this whole story, just how Mike pretty much set these two cops up, because as we know in this episode, when you watched it, he kept on saying that his son wasn't dirty, that he's not a dirty cop, when his wife pretty much did go to the cops that are investigating this case, and that's why Mike got brought in. But Mike said, no, my son is not dirty. He's not a dirty cop. And then she wants to know. She knew that there was a phone call. We saw a flashback basically when he first arrives to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And there was a phone call that her husband did, Maddie, that basically he's never distraught. He's always, calm, cool, collective. But this phone call really just pushed him by the edge. And she had a gut feeling that it was Mike on the other end, and that's exactly who it was, Mike on the other end. But of course, Mike's not going to tell her that it was him. So Mike pretty much, that conversation when, he went to his daughter's house. I'm just going to say daughter. His daughter's house. And him telling, did you go to the cops, this and that? And her telling him, yes, I did. I found money, a lot of money, and we're barely making by. I thought, Maddie might be dirty. There might be a connection between these two cops. I don't care if he's dirty. I still love him. I just want the guy who did this to justice. I want justice. And then Mike, storming off, really pissed off that she'd go to the cops and not him, even though he was drinking himself every night to death. And then, storming off and then coming back and telling the whole story. Now, I will say this, the little iffy thing about it was Mike was in behind the police car when, those two cops pretty much took him when he was, drunk, and he set up this whole plan in motion. Wouldn't they have, like, I don't know, DNA or somewhat, maybe, when he did get shot, maybe blood going on the ground? I mean, you would think Mike would get caught. Even though it was a great plan, him breaking in the cop car beforehand, being taken by these two cops that he was setting up in the bar, the two cops who killed Maddie, and then stashing a gun in there, that was great. I mean, the whole plan worked to a T, except getting shot. But I just assume, with hair samples, even though Mike doesn't have hair, just a lot of fingerprints and stuff. I would think that they would, find out who killed these two cops, because they're cops. I did like how he played it off. He played pretty much like Possum, but more of a drunken Possum. He was like, hey! And then he goes up to him. The two cops that are sitting at the table, and they, beforehand they nodded at Mike. Goes, I know it was you, sons of bitches. Just playing like he was drunk, telling the bartender that he's going to Albuquerque, New Mexico. He sold his car, this and that. I mean, everything Mike did, even going in the back, them saying, let's give you a ride. And then, them bringing that I know it was you into the conversation. And then the two cops who killed Maddie basically realizing they have to kill Mike. And then Mike just, I love that shot. When Mike, it just feels so noir, those classic noir films. The cinematography was great. The cinematography in this whole episode was awesome. I really loved the shadows. I love when he went into the bathroom stall too, and he just had those dark, just that barely lit bathroom, and it feels like something's going down. A mystery is afoot. So I did, like I said, I absolutely loved how Mike was in the back. He's acting all drunk, and then that shot where they're thinking about it. They took his gun away, so they think he's ammoless or armless. They don't have. They think he doesn't have no weapons on him. They frisk him basically, and the two cops letting him lean on the wall, and then they're discussing and stuff. I love the shot when Mike has his gun, and you could just see the two cops' face like, fuck. And then Mike not even loading his own gun when the cop was trying to use. Genius. Oh man, this episode was so good. The beginning of the episode, I was like. It was always I was just wondering what's going to happen next. How's this going to go down? What's going to happen? Where are we headed to? This is Mike's past. Ooh, we're going to get a little bit more. See what's up. I mean, there was it just little, excuse me, little by little, it was letting you in. Little by little, like you were just kind of wondering, where is this all going to? Who are these characters? What the fuck is going on? Who is Maddie? And then, we find out that Maddie wasn't a dirty cop. Well, kind of. When Mike really had to convince him to take the money, but he gets killed the next 2 days. But Maddie wasn't a dirty cop. That Mike was a dirty cop. And we all know Mike's dirty. And these two other cops that Mike ended up killing were dirty as well. Because these two cops knew that Maddie was a good cop and he was going to go basically tell on them, tattletale. And then they figured they better just get the job done, and that's exactly what they did. They killed Maddie, and Mike wanted revenge. And him telling the whole story to his daughter was amazing. I absolutely loved this episode. And I gotta say, it was great how the audience got to, we were asking questions like, what is this all about? What is the cops interrogating Mike about? I loved how, Saul came in. He had no clue what was going on. He was basically our medium, us saying, okay, Saul is the audience. Saul's like, okay, I want you to start from the beginning, Old Testament beginning. I want to know everything that's going on. So I loved how they brought into expedition. You know what I mean. Big word. Can't say it. I'm Mexican. But overall, awesome episode. Loved it. Cinematography was great. Mike's backstory was great. Jonathan Banks really nailed the performance. When they had Saul and Mike together, I thought it was great. I want more team up, but this episode, I'm fine without it. Oh man, just overall, just awesome episode. We'll see if this bites Mike, bites Mike in the ass, but we all know where Mike's character heads to, and we all know about that granddaughter of his. So, just a great episode. This is a freaking awesome episode. The whole time I was like, well, these cops were incapable of bringing in Mike, but damn, you know, Gotham needs Mike on that show. They need a Mike. They need a Mike. They need somebody who knows, who's not stupid, who's not an idiot, who knows how to get shit done, and who's been around the block. So, Jonathan Banks, thank you for a great performance. And Better Call Saul, awesome. 5-0, awesome. Great show so far. Just amazing. I'm having a lot of fun with this show. I think it's smart. I think it's, of course, witty with comedy. I think the cinematography is beautiful. I think pretty much the presentation, the tone, the pacing, everything is great. The pacing is just right. I mean, they start a little bit slow just to, you know, introduce you with every episode. Introduce you, like, we'll tell you what's going to, like, you know, what's going to unfold a little bit. And then once we get to almost to the middle, we start seeing more things. And then the ending. The endings are always great. So, great episode of Better Call Saul. Let me know your thoughts on what you thought about this episode, because I thought it was amazing. Let me know if you thought, just what your thoughts on it. It was really, really a fantastic episode. And please please subscribe. I make videos for you every single day. I work very damn hard. Actually, I got to go to work at 3 in the morning, and it's already 8:13, and I didn't know it was a time change. So, a few more videos I have to upload, then I got to go to sleep. But thank you guys for listening, and Better Call Saul, man. I mean, if you need a show, you better watch Saul.